In this video, I transformed this house I made back in 1.13 in my survival world, and they turned it into this house using the Little Tiles mod. A few quick disclaimers before we start. First, I'm quite new to the Little Tiles mod, so this build might not be as good as some of the others. Also, this build was heavily inspired by Trixie Blocks. He has quite a lot of videos using the Little Tiles mod, and I really took inspiration from them. And the third thing is that some of the parts of the house disappear during the time lapse. I don't know how to fix it, but if you know anything that could help, or at least should help, write that down in the comments. So with that out of the way, let's get into the video. So this is one of my old survival worlds. As I said, I started playing it in 1.13, actually snapshots of it, and this is the little house I'm gonna be transforming, as you saw. So it has it's not the best little house, like I didn't know how to build really good back then, but on the inside it has a bed, a crafting table, a furnace, a chest, so everything you would need. It wasn't my first base, it was just a little base I made in this animal pen, a huge animal pen we have over here. So let's go ahead and roll the time lapse. The first step was upgrading the walls, making them not as thick, so more could fit inside. At first I thought I would do diagonal walls as well, but I decided not to, and I also was just figuring out how some of the tools work with little tiles. I continued working further on the walls, and I made each one of them 4 pixels thick, and I will later add windows that are 2 pixels thick. And as you can see, I'm doing this on all sides. Also, for anyone wondering, this footage is sped around 30 times, because I turned around 5 hours of footage into a 10-minute video. So here I'm finishing the sides, and I also cleared the interior and added little pillars in the corners, so the windows won't just be like floating. And keeping to the original design, I am adding a lot of windows to this house. The next thing to do is add a custom door. So and now I'm doing just that. At first I thought I would be doing it over there, but later I switched to doing it over here. So I first carved out places for 2 windows, and then I added those windows. I also made the wall thinner, because I thought it was a bit too thick, especially compared to the vanilla doors. I removed another layer here, and then I finally added the glass. I tried making a pattern in the glass, but it really didn't work out, so I just kept it just as is. I also added a little doorknob, but only from one side. And then I used a little recipe to take the door and make it into a working one. So as you can see, I'm just flying around doing that, and then here you can see that the door actually works, and I tested adding blocks around it to see if they don't block it, and yeah, I added it to the build, and that's this problem solved. The next thing is to add a roof to the house. I first started making the roof by making an outline of it on some blocks, and I made it shallow in the beginning, but it got steeper and steeper the higher I went, as you can see. Then I just removed the old roof, made another platform on the other side, and started connecting the 2 dots together using one of the tools with little tiles, so I can just do lines at once, so I don't need to place pixels one by one because that would take ages. And here I just finished this roof, and I just added a little roof above the door and below the roof to just hide the inside from the outside. I didn't do it yet on the other side, but I will do it later. I continued off by making a smaller roof design for the side part, and I tinkered with it a bit until I got the shape I liked. Then I did the same thing I did with the main roof. I just added it to the sides like that, but I also copied the roof part and added it right over here to the other side, so it would be a bit quicker. I also did that on the other side. And I wanted to do the same thing with the corners, but it didn't really work out. And then I still tried using the copied part to add to the corners, but in the end it didn't work out and they just wasted a bit of time. So as you can see, it just was a few pixels off. So I just decided to do it manually, and I just ended up with the result I wanted. And then I did it on the other side too. And as you can't really see there, but I removed the part that was sticking outwards from the main design because it was just didn't fit the roof quite well. And I just made it a single window, and I wouldn't have used that space for too much, really, even if I had it. I also extended the roofs out a bit by just copying one layer and adding a few more of them, and that's the roof finished. And the next step is I can work on the inside. I started off the interior by making a crafting table. Yeah, that's some words. And you can make a custom crafting tables using little tiles, so I just did that. Then I tried adding the second floor for the bed, and I just decided to make it a bit lower. Because you can still sit on the chair, but you can't really walk below it, but it's still usable. I also made a little ladder to get up the side, and you can't really stand up over there, but you can just reach the bed better like that. I added also a little oak chair, as you can see below. I mean, it quite blends in with the floor, but still. And it works just like riding a horse would, just it don't move, that it doesn't move. I did a lot of the building things outside at first. It would be a big mess if I just move the camera over there and back here and everything, so that's why it just stayed over here. Then as you can see, I added the bed, and I added also a lantern that's the light source for the house because it's small and it's enough for the whole thing. And I don't know why the camera switched like that, but you also can get a bit better view of the door. Also, another quite a big thing before this was removing the parts of the roof that were obscuring the side roofs, so that also took quite a bit. And the interior really was the fun part. I also added a crate to store some items, and the last thing I needed to do was adding a furnace, like in the original design. I mean, I moved the crafting table to the other side, but still. And you can make custom crafting tables, but you can't really make custom furnaces. So I just hid the two furnaces below the custom furnace I made, and I will show you later how you can use this. And I just made it look a bit like the normal furnace, just a bit stretched out and a bit shorter. I mean, it doesn't really change the look of it when it's shorter, but yeah. I also designed a carpet, and I thought I could just use one by mixing just little pieces of it, but I just decided to go with a simple red one. And that's the whole house finished. So this is how it looks, and I think it turned out quite well, because it's only my first build with this mod. As I said, the door doesn't have a handle from the other side, but you know, if it opens outwards, that's not a big deal. Then you have a little chair over here with a crafting table and a lantern, and the mod allows you to do custom crafting tables, that's why I'm able to make this. But when I get out of the chair, it just puts me outside. That's one of the little minuses of this house, but yeah. Then we have a furnace over here, and this mod doesn't allow you to make custom furnaces, but if you click over here in this 1 pixel gap, there are 2 furnaces underneath. And also there is a crate for storage over here that you can use. The last thing in the house is a bed, and it's just over here, a custom bed. There's one problem, and it's that when you sleep in it, you wake up on the roof over here, because it's so close to it. And also when you are sleeping, you just fall through the ground until over here. But that's basically it. And thank you for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, maybe share it with someone that would be interested in it, because this took quite a while to make, and I will see you again next time. Bye!